Alright, Babber.
Hello folks, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity, where we are in a room of the gods and we have got 4 pillars that we can pick from. We have got Pray to Rhymegrand. We can not do anything there. We can pray to Berath. We can pray to Hylea, or we can pray to Galawain. Now, if we want to pray to any of these gods, we get loads of choices to pick from. And really, what we need to do is read the books to find out which one we need to play with, really. Those don't tell me anything. So it looks like this episode and the next couple might be some book reading, by which time I've probably forgotten what I need to do. We looked at that lot the other day. Last episode, I say the other day, the last episode. And there was nothing relevant to whoever it was. Galawain, Hylea, Berath, or Rhymegrand. So let's have a look up here and see if anything is relevant. The final journey of Jonas. Skeins embodiment. I'm just scanning for any of those god names. I think we've read this one a few hundred times elsewhere in the game. The missives of the hand. May this letter find you in well spirits. Blah blah. Whale. Eyeless face. Whale. Whale's not one of our choices. I'm not interested. Berath. That's one of ours, isn't it? That's one of the fellas. Rhymegrand. Berath. Right, let's have a look at this book for Berath. The Many Faces of Berath. Let's see if we can get his favour, just because he was first that we found. How fitting that we know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Berath, while the Valians know this very same god is Erona. For if nothing else, Berath teaches us that duality exists in all things. There is life in death and death in life. There is life in death because other things feed off the death of the dead and give them life, nourishment, and you know, your particles go back into the world. And death in life. If you live, you die. The moment you're born, you're dying. Embrace this duality and you honour Berath. I have no issue with that. That sounds fine. That sounds logical and reasonable to me. In the ruins of Erglanfath, Berath is depicted in the form of I'm sure we've read this before as well. In the ruins of Erglanfath, Berath is depicted in the form of 2 semi-skeletal figures, one male, one female. Bwenin I Anku and Anku I Bwenin. Yeah, literally life in death and death in life. Okay, fair enough in the Glanfathan tongue. Male and female, inside and outside, life and death. We often think of Berath by imagining 2 sides of coin. 2 sides of a coin, or the 2 end points of a journey. What are the 2 end points, the start and the end, I suppose? It is said that Berath has the most petitioners of every god, and this is likely true. Who amongst us has not prayed for the cycle to hiccup? Who has not, in a moment of sadness, yelled at Berath to make an exception for our fallen loved ones? Berath may not rescue our loved ones, but it answers our prayers in its own divine way. Berath is the god that makes life end in death, and it is also the god that makes death end in life. Berath, Sirono, Bunan, I Anku, Anku, I Bunan, whichever of the many names you prefer to use, deserves our prayers, for it has given us the promise of life's eternal renewal. Okay, so we know a little bit about Berath. Let's see what happens. This could go horribly wrong. Do you know what? I'm going to bring everyone down, just in case it goes horribly wrong, and like the world collapses or whatever. Right, Berath. All things can be reforged. There is life in death and death in life. That sounds like the right thing to me. There is a rippling shift in the air around you, as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence and of eyes upon you. Ooh, hello. You kneel and pray to Barath. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon to your left, only to rise on your right. East and west? Wasn't it setting to the east, I suppose? Well, I suppose that's if you're facing north. Anyway, never mind. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, and another sheer canyon walls. Cannon walls, that would be interesting. On a man of war. That's a cannon wall! No! Sorry, distracted. For just an instant, you even see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into the shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet and the night air cool on your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Our old friends, life in death and death in life. We're in the realm of the twinned god, and here are its two aspects. You remember the door to Ciliban Rilag and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male and the other vaguely female. This was from the book. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. Excuse me. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of the two stone sculptures are swept towards the mouth, inviting you in. Well, let's go for it. The road continues through the moor to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed facing you. Okay, an elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. Wow. We've come through the skull doorway, turned around, and the skull doorway is facing us as if we hadn't walked through it. But the dwarven man is the other fella on the identical doorway in the distance. Let's keep pushing forward and go towards the dwarven man. You continue down the road toward him. He looks up as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh is detached from the muscles underneath. That sounds a bit wrong. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. This is not going to go well. His jowls sag and the loose flesh hangs like dough. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself, from his newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark sticky fluid into his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear. The hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. Okay. He lifts his head, and this time you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are two hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouths of skulls. Come, make your sacrifice to Ethic Knoll. His body blocks the path. He extends a bloody hand toward you. I don't know what he wants. I guess take his hand. Unless the sacrifice is him. I don't know. Let's take his hand. I'm thinking I take his hand. You grab his hand, but his skin gives too easily under your grip. Oh, that's not nice. As you try to pull away, you hear a noise like dried canvas tearing. Oh, that sounds so wrong. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forth in such quantities that you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams with 1,000 souls' worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now that he is dead can you continue onward. Sounds like we did the right thing. The blood pools around your feet and you look up and see the elven woman waiting further down the road. Well, keep going forward. You start toward her. There's something unnatural about the way she stands. She's too still. When you get closer, you see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisting roots. Is she Yggdrasil, by any chance? She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the colour of autumn leaves, and as you look more closely you realise that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines, sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beautiful smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path behind her, and almost immediately new leaves sprout in the place of old. She reaches toward you, still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, graft your soul to the golden grove. I don't want to give up my soul, but I guess it's a test. Do the same as last time, I guess. Take her hand. Her roots twine around your fingers, and as they do, they grow rigid and cold. Oh, I might have just killed myself. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as a rough stone bark overtakes her flesh, she can only look on in horror. Oh, it wasn't me that's dying. I've just killed the tree lady. You break away from her brittle grasp. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. But I killed the other guy. I have to kill this one? I don't know. It creeps up her neck and she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The greyness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. Now that she is still and lifeless, you can continue past her. I don't think they were there to stop us, were they? Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch they fall one by one to the path. But I feel so guilty. They shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. A voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You lift your gaze and see the skull gate ahead of you on the path. The candles of Ter Evron wink through the open mouth. Did we just bugger it up? No. Servant, end the lives of the two figures from Berath's vision, and the Council of Stars is updated. To earn favour, I'll have to complete the task given to me. Berath gave me a vision of a dwarf and an elf on an eerie road. Both perished at my touch. That doesn't really help me, does it? So I think this has got that. These two individuals have cheated death for too long. Ending their lives would no doubt please Berath. He said something about the ethic knoll. When I learn who or what this is, he will no doubt be nearby. The elven woman was strangely tree-like. She mentioned a place called the Golden Grove. Have we met either of those places? The Golden Grove. I'm going to go with no. But I guess we should go looking?
Hey.
I don't know. That's not the way out. Where's the way out? There's the way out. Okay. So we need to earn the god's favour by killing these two people before we can get to Burial Isle, I think. I'm thinking we might just see if we can get to Burial Isle anyway. That sounds like a plan to me. When we load up. Yes, we've got a soulbound item now, haven't we? We should have a look at that. Right. Have you got anything to say? I have questions.
What do you wish to know?
No, I don't.
Until we meet again.
Yeah, thanks. Now, we are in Elm's Reach. Hall of Warriors, Old Song. Now, from there we can go to Old Song. And from Hearth Song, or we can go to Hearth Song is what I mean. The Golden Grove. Ah. Now, is the other place in here? What's he called? Ethic Knoll. We found the Golden Grove. Well, I wonder where Ethic Knoll is. Tear Evron, Ethic Knoll. Don't know if it sounds familiar. It might be one of the places around here. If the Golden Grove is, oh, I'm a little bit confident. I was all a little bit lost just now. But let's have a look at the Golden Grove. And I suspect we're going to be in for a bit of a battle. So I think a quick save might be in order. You're just a warrior. You're just a warrior. All right. Well, let's do a little quick save. This is the Golden Grove. Ovate's Guard. Can we talk to you? Oh, hello. Ovate. Ovate. I don't know what an ovate is. Keep the peace in our sanctuary, Estramore. Okay. Seeking a herbalist? No. No. Who are you? Bledha.
Many blessings, traveler.
The elf? Ah, she's a lady and she's elven. What's this guy? Don't know. The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Welcome, Estramore. I've got herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travels or something to make them more interesting? When she grins, you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. White leaf. Nice way to spend an afternoon. And the following night. And most of the next day. Let's have a look at your stocks. Looks like we can't do anything to you. 15 accuracy, 10 damage, and 20% maximum endurance for 20 seconds. That's quite nice, isn't it? How much money have I got? 23 grand. Tempted to get them. Iron skin. See, the problem with these is you drink one and it's damage reduction for one hit. One singularity hit. Now, Kana, I just noticed you've got spells floating around. You've got no spaces. Okay, that's fine.
Hey.
Alright, you're an elven woman. Aren't we meant to kill you? Let's have a word with this personage.
Many
Tamrin.
blessings, traveler.
You sound like a dude. Though his eyes are closed and his posture is still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you. May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. Okay, thank you. We might come back to you later. Golden celery. Oh, hello. What have we got here? No. Ovates. What about here? More ovates. Nothing down here. Ovate's Guard. Maybe we need to get up on this pedestal. Location discovered. I've just discovered it. Iswald. I wonder if it's Iswald we need to talk to. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the leaves. Golden celery. Ah, celery. All are welcome in the Golden Grove. Right. Are you elven? An elf with placid green eyes nods in greeting. Welcome to the Golden Grove,
Many
traveller.
blessings, traveler.
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists or simply bask in Werther's glory? Who leads your order? High Ovate Erona leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elmshore to renew her strength. However, she's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Erona is a mighty elm among us. She lived for generations. There are none who understand the world as well as she, and we are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. Tell me more about this Erona who has lived for possibly a long time. Her eyes brighten. Why, you must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind, and she has led our order from the beginning. Yet she walks among us. She has led our order from the beginning. So maybe she is overdue for death. Yet she walks among us and gives freely of herself. She turns her gaze to the great twisting elms. This is what so many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way the gods never are. Oh, she's not an actual person. She's an actual tree, is she? Tell me about the Golden Grove. That tells me nothing. And what do you believe? That tells me nothing. Well. Oh, hello, servant of death. The elven woman, strangely she mentioned, the druids told me that High Ove Erona often ventures to Elmshore in search of remedies to prolong her life. I expect that Erona is the elven woman from the vision. That's what I said. That's what I said. Right, Elmshore. Where is Elmshore? There it is. Right. Elmshore, here we come, here we come. Elmshore, double speed. Come on, my little puppets. Have you got a burning head? Oh no, you are actually just a stand of fire. The intruder cannot hide from us. No, they can't. Right, Elmshore. Forward! March, my friends! Forward! Come on, let's get to Elmshore. What's her name? Elona or Erona? My Erona. Sorry. Shouldn't do things like that. I don't want to torture you with any form of singing. Oh, we built a craft hall. Nice. We're not releasing you, Mr. Esmer. Not yet. Because that, I'm sure, will get us into trouble. 3 actions? Oh, these are the 3 actions. Azuro. Did we see Azuro last time? I don't know. I don't care. He can bugger off for all I'm concerned about. Not a problem. Merchants. Artificers. Forums. Training grounds, botanical gardens, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Let's go for some more prestige, because that's 2 behind everything else. So, merchants give us nothing, apart from merchants. Chapel's done. The forum. Could do the forum. Do you know what? I am quite tempted to do the merchants, just so I've got somewhere to sell. I don't know if we've spoken to that Azuro. Is it down here anywhere? Have we done anything here? For Azuro. I don't really want to go and visit him, but we might have to do that next time, depending how long this takes. But what I will do is call this episode here, just because we've hit the 20-minute mark already. Which seems a bit quick. No, don't go. Don't move. Don't move. Stop. Stop. There we go. Right. And what we will do is have a look around. I bet she's at the pillars. I wonder if she's up there. I wonder if she's up there. But regardless, we will go and find Erona. My Erona. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Erona. Yes, my Erona.
Hey.
We will go and find Erona next episode. So until then, folks, bye-bye for now.